You want to know how to read books a little bit faster. You want to know how I get through so many books. I've got my huge pile here. A few questions on the channel with Kobe, how do you get through so many books? You're absolutely crazy, you get up too early. You'll see those comments if you've been following what we've been doing the last couple of days. So I want to give you a couple of principles. So I've got a few books here. I mentioned yesterday in a video, this is something that I'm currently reading, the 10X rule. I've done a couple more chapters on that this morning. But I've got to make a decision about how I want to invest my time because I haven't got a lot of time. It's absolutely crazy busy. This morning I was up at 4:30. I was awake at 4. I was up at 4:30. I'm like, right, I've got to get stuck into my day. I've got tons of stuff to do. Got a ton of reading done. Got out for a walk. Got breakfast with the family happening into the office. We've been working on a couple of books. We've got a great 50-page booklet, 50-page booklet coming out on how to implement, maintain management system. Also working on the book that we're writing ourselves, which is my book. So Alexi's helping me with that. He's out there working on it right now. So I want to help you with understanding how to get through books really quickly. The first thing in terms of these books is I'm not randomly buying these books. I don't go into a shop to purchase my books. I buy all of my books online. And I personally buy them all through eBay. I don't buy them through Amazon, I buy them through eBay. Now, what I basically do is that someone will give me a recommendation. So if someone gives me a recommendation, if there's a book you think I should read, then comment below. So put something in the comment below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to us here at Best Practice, hit subscribe. I've got tons more of this content, but I want to talk to you about how do I get through so many books? How do I read them quickly? This is my technique, haven't picked it up from anybody. I've just worked it out over the years. First things first, I will only read a book that's been recommended to me by a friend, or I've seen it, somebody I might follow, someone I follow on Instagram, or someone I follow on YouTube. For example, in this instance, Grant Cardone. I follow Ty Lopez, for example. Ty Lopez might put up a book recommendation. I'll go on eBay and I'll buy the book straight away. They don't have to be brand new. I'll quite often buy secondhand books. Not always brand new books. These ones here were all bought brand new. This particular book here, No Man's Land, I think I've bought about 15 copies of that, 10 to 15 copies of that, and they've been floating around here in the office and people borrowing them. So the first thing in terms of selecting what I'm going to read is it'll be a recommendation. Recommendation for someone that I trust, someone that I think knows what they're talking about, and I'll basically jump, literally, as the minute they give me that recommendation, I will buy it straight away. I'll jump on eBay, buy it straight away. I've got all my details pre-set up in my account, and then the couriers just deliver them every day. Every single day, books are getting delivered. They come in, they put them here on my desk. So the team here, either on the desk outside my office or here in my office. So that's the first thing that happens. I buy them straight away. So I don't have to think about it. What I used to do was I carry these books around and my notebooks. So this is the current notebook that I'm using at the moment. I write all my to-do lists. I used to have in the back of this book, or these books if you like, I used to have a list of all the books that I needed to go find, find and buy. So I'd write this list and I go, right, I'll get around to buying those books. Someone give me a recommendation and I'll be like, right, I've got to go buy those books. Now I really struggled until one day I just went, you know what, let me just see if I can find it on eBay. So now what I do, I get the recommendation, I buy the book straight away. So the first thing is that these books here have all been recommended to me by somebody that I trust, value, and like. The second thing is people will often say, oh, did you get a chance to read that book that I recommended to you? And I'm like, now I can say, well, yes, I did. Okay, first things first, how to do it. So first things, you're starting with books that have been recommended to you. If you've got time to explore other books, and I've got a few recently that I bought, I'm starting to explore, I'll go read those as well. The first thing I think about is, are you guys familiar with TED Talks? So TED Talks or public speaking. Now, I know that each of these three authors, we've got Tony Robbins here, we've got Mark Manson, and we've got Doug Tatum. These three people will get invited to do public speaking. And often a public speaking event, most often a public speaking event, that person will be given between 30 minutes and 1 hour to do their speaking event. Maybe talk about their book. Tony Robbins might go and talk about his book Unshakable from last year. Mark Manson might be able to go and talk about the subtle art of not giving a fuck. And Doug Tatum might go and talk about No Man's Land. They'll be given an hour to talk. Now, what I have observed with watching these people, all these different people on YouTube when they write books, I'll go look for them on YouTube and then I'll say, what if they've got a 3-minute video, on YouTube or a 5-minute video on YouTube, or they've got a 1-hour speaking engagement, then that person's gonna talk about their gold nugget. In these books, there's gonna be maybe 1, rarely 2, very rarely 3 gold nuggets. And the way we write books, or the way books are written, is they are written to basically pad out, give you an introduction if you don't know anything about the subject, an introduction to the gold nugget. They'll talk about the gold nugget, and then they'll talk about how to apply the gold nugget. So, you know, the problem that you have in your life, or the you know, you're looking for a solution, the gold nugget will be the solution, the tactic, the strategy, the information, whatever it might be. They'll talk about the problem and frame up the context, then they'll talk about the gold nugget, then they'll talk about how to use the gold nugget. Now, a lot of my life is centered around implementation, structures, systems, all that sort of stuff. So I'll often pick up the concepts very, very quickly. So what I want you to think about is where in all of these books there's a gold nugget in the middle. There's 1, 2, maybe 3, but rarely 2, very rarely 3. So there's a gold nugget. That person has got their piece of information they want to convey. So we know, if we know that they frame up the context and talk about the problem and how that might relate to you and in your life and all the different types of people that they want to read the book. Then they've got their gold nugget, then how to apply it. Where's the gold nugget? It'll be in the middle. So what I basically do when I'm looking to read a book really quickly, and this one, Alexi's been bookmarking the pages, I'll basically go to the contents page, knowing to look for, and knowing to look for the middle. Then basically I'm looking down the contents page, and this is a really short contents page in this particular one, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chapters, and he's going, now, knowing there's an introduction, too big to be small, too small to be big. Now, no, this book's called No Man's Land. It's about companies, obviously. So, too big to be small, too small to be big, market misalignment, outgrowing your management, outgrowing your model, outgrowing your money, the 5th M, and beyond growth. So this guy's gold nugget is these M's: management, model, money, and the 5th M. So misalignment, management, model, money, the 5th M. So when I started reading this book, I just went from page 32 to page 147. Now, the biggest mistake that people make when the book is recommended to them is they open the first page and start reading, and if they can't get into it, then they'll probably struggle to actually finish the book. And I'm like, no, I've only got to go from page 32 to, say, for example, somewhere around about page 150. What are we talking there? We're talking maybe 100 pages. I've only got to read 100 pages. So often what will happen is that I'll jump straight into something that I think, you know what, I'd really like to read the most tasty piece of information first. I might go to outgrowing your money or outgrowing your management or whatever the problem might be that I'm looking to solve. I'll go straight to that. I'll read 10 or 15 pages and I'll go, yes, I like it. Then I'll keep going. If I've really loved what I've read, then I'll maybe go and read the end. Then I'll maybe go back to the start. And then if I really like it, I'll read it start to finish. But I don't often read. And I was asked the question yesterday, how do I get through so many books? That's how I get through them. I go straight for the gold nugget. I'm a pretty smart guy. Once I get the concept, I'll know how to implement it in my business or help clients implement it. So I'm going straight for that gold nugget. So think about this. If you're familiar with TED Talks, public speaking, those sorts of things, TED Talks, really short, 15, 20 minutes, I think they are. Don't quote me on that. So if this person was doing a TED Talk, they've got to get their gold nuggets out in 15 minutes. So realistically, I'm looking for the thing that person would talk about for anywhere from 15 minutes to 1 hour, and that's going to tell me exactly what to go looking for in all of these books. So then I can basically invest. Invest is the key term here. Invest maybe 2 to 3 hours in each of these books as I go through the week, and I invest 1 hour every morning, and if I get the chance, another half an hour, 45 minutes at night in the books that I'm going through. That's how I get through the books really quickly. Choose a recognized author, choose something that's been recommended to you, build it up here and work your way through it. Now, there's a ton of books there. What you start to realize is that there are a ton of books that are really poorly written. And the more that you get through, the more that you're going to actually cut through. Now, I was reading something from Warren Buffett, massive global investor, super rich dude, and obviously highly productive. And Warren Buffett was basically saying this. He was saying the significant difference between, average people and super successful people is the amount that they read and the amount that they invest in professional development. So my question to you, how much time each week in your ideal week would you like to invest reading and learning and having these people mentor you? This book, Unshakable, Tony Robbins. I don't know what I paid for this book, $30. $30 worth of mentoring from Tony Robbins. All his best stuff. All his best stuff. This is, when this book was released in 2018, it was fresh, hot off the press. And the guy has spent 40 or 50 years building his strength and building out to be the billionaire that he is with the billions of dollars worth of companies that he now runs. And he's gone and put this book together. You're getting his best stuff. And I got his best stuff for $30. A book the other day, someone was saying to me, I recommended a book to someone last week, and they said, I don't want to buy that book, it's $70. I'm like, what if that book went and found you the $10 million that you'd dreamed to have? What would life be like for you? Think about your ideal week. Think about your ideal life. Think about life, success. Ultimately what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to make my life easier. So if this person has got a piece of advice that I can take and implement and it makes my life easier, I think that's smart. What do you reckon? Okay, I'll see you next time. If I don't see you next week in our webinar, I'm talking about certification and management systems or a marketing decision. If you love what you see here on the Best Practice YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button. If you don't like what we're doing, don't just get frustrated. I would love to know. Comment below, let me know what you don't like. We'll work to improve that. We're always here to help improving you. I'm inspired and passionate to help 100 million companies with improvement. So I'll see you soon. Actually, in fact, you know what? I'm going to see you tomorrow. So if you're following our YouTube channel, hit the button, see what I post tomorrow. It's the weekend, so I'm going to be posting some videos over the weekend. Let's get the most out of the weekend. Let's get the most out of life. Keep improving every day. I'll see you soon.